So it's been a little bit more than a day since the world changed and Donald Trump was nearly assassinated. So we're learning more and more about who this shooter is. There's still not a lot to know about in terms of motive. We are getting a better sense of who he is. There's a Daily Beast report that came out that's totally shattering the conservative narrative that I really want you to see. More of that in a bit, but first I want to show you the interview with one of the shooter's classmates.
He was bullied almost every day.
In what way? Can you explain?
I mean, he would sit alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays, so they're gonna see someone like that and they're gonna target him because they think it's funny or whatever. So it's the best way I can describe it. And it's honestly kind of sad. Like, I don't want to say this is what provoked it, but you never know.
Yeah. You said he was a loner?
Yeah. I want to say he was a loner more because he was quiet, but like he was just bullied. Like he was bullied so much.
And this was high school?
Yeah.
What did do you remember at all what they said to him or called him?
No. He was just made fun of, I guess, for the way he dressed or his appearance.
I mean, tell me if you heard this one before. A kid who was consistently bullied, a kid who was white, a kid who was seemingly had no friends and not sure what's going on in the family life, decides to take matters into their own hands, make their mark on the world before taking themselves out. This is a story that, though it's new because it involves the president of the United States, the former president of the United States, this is not a new story. So my hope is through this, we can finally get some sort of gun legislation on the books. You might remember that after Ronald Reagan was shot there was an attempted assassination, he became, he wasn't like a gun control nut, but he started to understand the need for gun control and started to support it. So my hope is that with the right, there might be some sort of way in which there is legislation that passes that might not have passed before this moment. Maybe that's one good thing that can come from this. The shooter was also, I don't know if you know what BlackRock is. It's an investment firm that is very, very wealthy, and conspiracy theorists, a lot of conspiracy theories begin and end in BlackRock. I'm telling you that because the shooter is actually in an ad from BlackRock. I'm going to show you that after I show you this Daily Beast article I told you about. So the thing online, when we were still like in the fog of all of this, the right was like, this is a leftist. This is what happens when the left's rhetoric, and this is like they're all violent, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So it came out that the shooter is, as I told you yesterday, it came out that the shooter is a Republican, a registered Republican. And now the Daily Beast has an article that is confirming that in a big way. Okay. Daily Beast. Trump rally gunman was, quote, definitely conservative, classmate recalls. Former classmate, the 20-year-old who tried to unsuccessfully kill former President Donald Trump at a Pennsylvania rally. So wild that happened. Saturday recalled him being staunchly to the right of the political spectrum. Quote, he was definitely conservative. Max R. Smith told the Philadelphia Inquirer. Of Thomas R. Crooks, he says, it makes me wonder why he would carry out an assassination attempt on the conservative candidate, Smith shared. An American history class with Crooks and remembered a mock debate where their teacher made students stand on one side of the class or another to signal their allegiance. Quote, the majority of the class were on the liberal side, but Tom, no matter what, always stood his ground on the conservative side. Quote, that's still the picture I have of him, just standing alone on one side while the rest of the class was on the other. So that's a big deal because the right wants to demonize the left from this, and they're going to do everything they can to try to pin this on Democrats. So this guy saying this is super important because this is clearly not a leftist motivated attack. Okay. Now, I am on the mind that this might not even be a politically motivated attack. So, and I hope that is the case because though the rhetoric in our country has gotten to a point that is unsustainable, I think it would be very good if there was no political motivation from this. Hopefully that in it of itself could lower the temperature. So I just want to show you this before we end this BlackRock ad. Very strange. The conspiracy theorists are going to go nuts with this. I mean, they already are like, the Trump shooter in a BlackRock ad. What a coincidence. All right, here we go.
My name is Brian DeLallo. I teach AP and honors economics in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Financial well-being to me is knowing that I can be free to do the things that I love to do. I hope when I retire someday, they say that guy made this place a special place to come to school and gave as much as he could to help the community. I hope when I retire someday, they say that guy made this place a special place to come to school and gave his...
Isn't that weird? So strange. There he is. So the conspiracy theorists are going to go nuts with this. I mean, a separate thing that has been happening is that people on the left are going deep into the conspiracy side of the internet, saying that this was all staged, whatever. I mean, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. But hopefully the majority of you who subscribe to me do not believe that, because that's just wild. But this will certainly give more ammunition to the folks who want to believe that this is some sort of deep, fake government, blah, 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 elite propaganda, whatever. So that is all I got for you. I will be back tomorrow. We're doing a video a day for a month to see how it goes. And I will see you then. Goodbye.
I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?